Hey, what's good, y'all? This is V Marie, also known as your girl V92. Just coming to you guys with another good, short, and sweet video. I know I've been gone for quite some time, but I have to be honest. I have taken some time off simply for the fact of me losing interest in making a lot of these videos. A lot of the times, the topics that are discussed and that are brought forth have already been talked about millions and millions of times. And we're pretty much beating a dead horse right now. But there has been something that has made me and sparked my curiosity, and it's made me peek my head out just a little bit. The main topic that's going around these days is the argument of the lame and educated black men being looked over for the thugs, the losers, and whatnot, the undesirables of society, black society at that. Now, for me, as I've stated before in previous videos, if you have been a subscriber to me from the previous years, you know how I feel about this topic. The main subject that comes to mind is arrogance among these type of black men who are very cocky in regards of what they think that they should have. Many people already know my stance. The main thing that really has the big divide over men who are considered thugs and the men who are considered the good guys is pretty much the median there is opportunity. No man in his right mind, if he is a good man, is going to be that arrogant to be like, well, I'm a good black man and I deserve this, this, and this. You don't deserve shit. I gotta be honest with y'all. No one owes you anything. So tough luck to that. Anywho, let's get into the main topic. Let's get into the main things that need to be said. Now, when you have these black men talking about, oh, well, all black women want thugs and they seem to gear towards the men who are losers, you got to start asking specific questions, ladies, to these black men. That's if you give a fuck, if you give a damn. Excuse my language, but we gonna keep it real tonight. You have to start asking these black men specific questions. Number one, you got to ask them what type of woman they're into. Number two, you have to ask what are the qualities they're looking for in the type of woman that they're into. And number three, how many women have they dated? And you have to also ask them, if you have dated many women, have any of them exuded any of the qualities that you are so-called saying that you're looking for? Many of the times when we discuss the topic of the lame and educated black man getting looked over, they're really talking about the type of women that they want to fuck. They're not talking about the women that they need to be in relationships with. So we have to get that out there as well. This whole argument of, well, I've tried to date black women and they look me over for the thugs and the losers. So I have to date out. I have to date white women, Asian women, whatever other woman there is out there. And as I've gone through this whole thing about, in my life and working hard, I have to deal with these women coming back, wanting me to be with me now that they're undesirable, overweight, have multiple kids by Pookie and Ray Ray, and now they want me to raise them. The storyline never changes with these, excuse my language, with these niggas. It never changes with these niggas. Yeah, I said it. How arrogant to think that these women, after all of these years, are coming back to you, in which they've never noticed before. If they're ignoring you, they probably don't give a damn, and they probably don't give a damn now. But it's an ego boost for a lot of them. The story has been told many times, and I have to be honest tonight as well. Most of these black men who are talking this stuff, now that they're successful, these women are coming back to them. The majority of them are not balling out of control. That's generally not how the story goes. Okay. Many of these men are not in a place of superiority, such as they think they are. I'm just going to be real. Gotta be honest. Okay. Now, let's get back into this subject. Like I said, the majority of black men are average Joes. When it comes to them, there's only three categories of working type of black men. You have category A, which is your top ballers. You have category B, which is mid-level black men who might have higher education. Then you have category C, which that's the majority of black men fall into. Okay. So let me describe each of these categories and how it ties into the type of, dating material that they're looking into and the type of woman that they're trying to get with and how it all ties together. Okay. So let's start in descending order. We're going to start with category C. So like I said earlier, the majority of black men fall into this category C. I say about 85%. Okay. Now, category C black man, the category C black man is your blue collar, service connected, working man. That means, they're in high labor jobs. That means that they're, high labor jobs such as maybe forklifting, you have warehouse workers, you have construction workers, all the way down to men who may be in customer service representative positions, who are working at your grocery stores, gas stations, anything that has to do with, the labor force. That's the majority of the time. The majority of the time, that is, the category that black men are falling into. Then you have category B. Now, these type of black men, they may have an higher education. They may have a BA degree or even an associate's degree, which ain't much, but nonetheless, some of them have went through some formal training or some formal education, and you can find these type of black men working in corporate America in your entry level positions, such as middle management positions. And you also just have your regular average everyday working corporate black man. These may be government workers, etc. So that makes up about 10% of black men. These black men are making decent money, but they're not balling out of control. Then, first and foremost, the most important category to a lot of these men, and the most important category that they think that they fall into, is category A, which are your top ballers. These are your doctors, your lawyers, your athletes, your entertainers. And this makes up about probably 5% of the black male population. Very small percentage. Now, as I've stated before, category A black men, they have their pick of the leader. They can get any woman that they want to get, pretty much. They can buy a woman. They can build the damn woman that they want to have, which a majority of you guys do not fall into that category. So you have to ask yourself, if the majority of black men are average and they fall into the category C, which is 85%, why do they snarl their nose up at average Betty? Let's ask that question. 9 times out of 10, you snarl your nose up at average Betty when average Betty is in the same category as you. And the majority of the time, she's probably bringing something more to the table than tits and ass. Now, let me clear this up. I'm not saying that these type of layman so-called educated black men should settle for an unattractive woman. There's no one in the world that wants to be with someone that they are not attracted to. What I'm saying is you need to get your shit together and in order and kind of decipher if the qualities that you're looking for matches up with reality. Life Jennings said this years ago. You can't be a nickel out here looking for a dime. Being that the majority of black men are average, maybe you should fucking start looking for an average woman who can bring something to the table. And if you happen to climb the ladder of success, you can upgrade average Betty as well to the woman that you may want her to be. However, right now, the type of women that you so-called lame and educated black men are going after, that has not been working for you. Then you have the argument, oh, well, now that I'm successful, I have to date out. And, because black women weren't being encouraging, and, they were never rooting for me. I had to get with people who were rooting for me. 9 times out of 10, your ass was lonely as hell. 9 times out of 10, these women weren't really white women, Asian women, Mexican women, what have you. They weren't going after you as well. Anyway, that's just my take on things. I just wanted to get on here and, get into what my thoughts were. It's just been a while. So anyway, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Y'all already know what to do. And give me your comments back. I'm really curious to see what you guys think of this as well. All right. Have a good night.